So my name is Mayukh Banerjee, and I am a newly appointed assistant professor at the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology at the School of Medicine. So regarding my journey and interest in environmental health sciences, it started really early because I grew up in the city of Kolkata in the eastern part of India. And arsenic exposure through contaminated drinking water has been a severe issue there right from the time I was 2 or 3. And we have been seeing articles in newspapers, and it really hit home when I actually started seeing families and communities all around me starting to fall apart as a result of this toxicity. They're developing cancer, other diseases, people are dying, and so on and so forth. So I always was intrigued by the question that what can actually be done to help these people or to mitigate this problem that is almost pervasive all around me. I received the Career Development Award from CIEHS to establish a relationship between arsenic and a protein called NAPC11 and how they interact to bring about a cell cycle disruption and ultimately skin cancer. So what my project intends to show is that arsenic interacts directly and physically with this protein called NAPC11. Now NAPC11 has 2 zinc atoms which are absolutely essential for it to perform its function in the cell. Arsenic, we would like to show, this goes in and removes these zinc atoms from NAPC11, and so it completely stops its function, and as a result the cells cannot complete its normal cycling and get stopped at one of the 4 stages. And this in turn is a major step that leads in the long run to cancer. Arsenic toxicity, especially in its chronic form through contaminated groundwater, is a public health issue of colossal proportions. It affects around 225 million people worldwide, mostly in low-income Southeast Asian countries, but also in other countries like USA, where we have 3 million people affected by same sort of exposure. Unfortunately, there is no cure for arsenic, any of the arsenic-induced diseases so far. In addition, there are several theories and hypotheses that have been put forward to explain how and why arsenic brings about these different diseases. But what we absolutely do not know is how one single chemical entity can affect so many different systems and pathways and biological molecules all at the same time. So there is this deep knowledge gap in our understanding as to how one single molecule can be doing all of this in temporally and spatially different manner. And part of my project is going to address that. So as I have said before, NAPC11 is a protein which contains zinc atoms, and arsenic will replace those zinc atoms, causing cell cycle disruption. Now cell cycle disruption is at the heart of almost every single disorder that arsenic leads to in the long run. So one part of the project is to gain a deeper understanding of how arsenic can be bringing about all these different diseases. Second part that is also unique is going to look at if zinc supplementation, something as simple as that, could reverse the detrimental effects of arsenic toxicity, at least with respect to skin cancer. And this is particularly important because not only we are looking at the effects of diet in here, but what we are also, if all of this works out, zinc supplementation, which is already an established method for other things all over the world, it's very cheap, very inexpensive, would be a very possible and a very achievable way to reach out to people who are suffering from arsenic toxicity and provide them with some sort of relief, or at least slowing down the disease, if not entirely cure them. And it is entirely achievable even for the low-income group countries, especially in Southeast Asia, in my part of India or Bangladesh, where there are literally about 200 million people who are suffering day in and day out as a result of this, instead of having to buy reverse osmosis filters, which are completely out of their range. So this would have local, national, as well as global impact if it all pans out as I foresee right now.